Okay, we started talking about it a lot yesterday and then into today, and it goes down tonight in Prince Albert. Sharky and I tried to get there. We couldn't make it happen. Joining us again on the Sports Cage on the Western Pizza Guest Hotline. Grab a wheel. Right now, if you're leaving to PA, you're going to be late to the game. Nick Nielsen is joining us, voice of the Prince Albert Raiders again. Oh, man, it's game day. It's the second round of playoffs. And it's against Saskatoon. You got to be excited.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can't ask for better. I mean, I'm a Sasky boy through and through. I've been involved in the Wilkie Outlaws versus Unity Lasers rivalry. I've been involved in the Estevan Bruins versus Weyburn Red Wings rivalry. PA Raiders, Saskatoon Blades. There's nothing better, and I cannot wait to experience it for my first time with this organization here. And ninth time overall in history. It's going to be a lot of fun.
You're checking off a lot of those rivalries, because we talked rivalries yesterday on the show, and we did bring up some of the old senior hockey ones and the Kindersley Roast Towns from way back. And yeah, Estevan, Weyburn, obviously Moose Jaw, Regina. People were messaging in, but I know like that PA Saskatoon is a thing of beauty, and it starts at the Hauser. So Cliffy Mapes texted me. This was about an hour ago. There was less than 40 standing room tickets. That's milk crate. That's milk crate country. And if people don't really know what we're talking about with the milk crates, is the standing room, and I forget what year it was, people started bringing milk crates and then just stood. So then you had two deep on the standing room of the Hauser. Have you experienced that?
So no, I haven't experienced it myself. From what I understand, the fire marshals regrettably put a little bit of a kibosh on it, even though I think they were going by the book, because I think one of the fire marshals was actually sitting in row 4 while that game was going on. But yeah, like, people don't understand, when we call it milk crate night at the Hauser, like, there is a full row of people standing, and then there is a full row behind that of people who brought milk crates from home, set them down, and are standing on top of them. Like, there's literally, from what I understand, you got to this rink and you didn't move from your spot because you wouldn't get it back. Like, yeah, that's how crazy passionate this building is. It's awesome.
It was like, fortunate enough to go to 2 Super Bowls. The one thing is, you do not want to drink because you want to remember it, but you also don't want to run to the bathroom, because then the lines are long and you don't know what you're going to miss. It's the exact same thing when it comes to a packed Art Hauser Center.
I got a story there.
You don't want to. I think, and I'm looking it up here, Chris Olson, it says, is the fire chief in PA. So I'm not sure if Chris is a big Raiders fan, if he'll turn the other way on a few milk crates. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know, but I got, just going back to the Super Bowl thing quick. I may have made my dad miss Brian Adams at the 2003 Grey Cup because little Nick had to go to the bathroom, but I still haven't lived that down.
Yeah, Dad's a big Brian Adams fan. What's his favorite song?
Oh, yeah. Cuts Like a Knife, which we heard delightfully from the bathroom.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, this series, though, what was the record? 6-1-1. So you guys had the Blades number regular season, but they're the only team to shut you guys out?
Yeah, that's true. They shut us out on January 31st, and they did it in the Hauser, too. No, that's a big note. The Saskatoon Blades, there's been 3 shutouts in the series. Like I said, Saskatoon shut us out on the 31st. We went back into Saskatoon next night and won 3-1. But then there's also the fact that we've shut out Saskatoon in the last 2 games of the season. Blades have not scored against the Raiders, and I think it's 7.5 periods or something like that. So, you know, that there's both those factors in play. Like, I no matter what, I think you can take the regular season stats and throw them out the window. This is Highway 11 rivalry. This is Raiders and Blades. Mm-hmm. You know, the first thing that came to mind when this series got announced, I was hearing Bon Scott and AC/DC yelling, "If you want blood, you've got it," because this is going to be a fun, nasty series.
You guys got a ton of snow earlier in the week. Is that all gone now? Is that starting to melt?
No. Well, it's melting. It's starting to melt.
Okay.
But we still have like 6-foot piles on either side of the road everywhere you go.
Yeah, so roads are okay though, but parking, they're going to be snow piled up there. People are going to be walking. Maybe you might even just park it at the Northern Lights. Take the long hoof to the Hauser. Hey, I want to ask you. Back in the day, and I remember some beauties. Like I'm talking old Saskatoon Arena. You weren't even born yet, and it was just fisticuffs, and it was good. How many Any idea how many fights between these two teams this year in the regular season?
Counted it. It was 7. And the two big ones were the two captains, Justice Christensen, Tyler Parr. They put on an absolute banger of a fight in the very second last game of the season. Christensen.
That one went viral kind of on social media. That was a throwback.
Absolutely. I mean, and the pictures that come out of it too. If you haven't seen it already, look for Raiders photographer Mark Peterson on Facebook. He did this really, really cool video because he shot the whole thing with his camera with a GoPro on it as well. So he kind of has this video of all the snapshots as they happen on the video. It's really cool to see. But old time fight like you wouldn't believe. The images that come out of it are bloodied up. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of smack talked in this series. So before that gets underway, I'm going to give Tyler Parr a lot of credit. He earned my respect with that fight. He got knocked down to his knees 3 times. He got back up every time. And then the mutual show of respect afterwards between Christensen and Parr. I mean, what a tilt between those guys.
Yeah, and it's almost like one of those Four Nations thing. Are we going to see some early on drop of the puck? Let's get it going, like old school greasy style, or are they kind of De Silva and and the PA coach maybe play it more above board, more 2026?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't expect it to pop off early. In fact, I almost wouldn't be surprised if game 1 was pretty tame in that regard. Just because I think both teams know what's at stake here. We're in the second round of playoffs now. For PA, we had to fight hard to get through Red Deer, even though it was a 5-game series. Scoring was tough. Getting through that series was tough. They played us hard. We played without Max Heisey that whole series because he got injured on the first shift of the game. Looks like he's ready to go in that, or at least he has been skating this week. I think he's going to be in the lineup here to start things off tonight. Saskatoon had to go through 3 overtimes in the last 2 games just to get through Edmonton, and that's a hard-fought series as well. So, I expect things to pop off at some point. I just don't think it'll be right away.
Okay, couple of easy ones here. Since you watch them all the time, you said it was 5 games against Red Deer. PA needs to do what to win this series?
There's 2 things I think that are the biggest at play, and number 1 has just been what the Raiders have been so good at all season, and that's just using their forecheck, and I'll even say abusing their forecheck. The Raiders' forecheck has been so dynamic this year where it's not like your typical, you think, aggressive, going to run you through the boards, dump and chase sort of forecheck here. It's one that is almost sort of sneaky. It's one that kind of forces teams into making mistakes. And, we're going to they'll hem teams in for a long period of time until all of a sudden that opportunity happens. And then the Raiders have you stuck in the trap. That's been a real bread and butter for the Raiders, I think, all season long. And then the other factor is going to come from off the ice. It's going to come from the stands. The Art Hauser Center has been absolutely nuts through the first round. I've never experienced anything like this building. If you have any listeners up near Flin Flon, I don't know if it gets out that far, but the Whitney Forum is the closest thing I can say to what the Art Hauser Center is, and I'd still take the Art Hauser Center over it. It's just an absolute madhouse. I think there's 2 fan buses for both Tuesday and Wednesday games going to Saskatoon here, so Raider fans are going to be traveling in bunches as well. Like, the noise factor is going to be huge, and I think Raider fans are going to bring it both in their home rink and in Saskatoon.
Okay, on the other side of things, what do the Blades have to do to be successful in this series against the Raiders?
Oh, you're asking me a question where I have to go against my own team here. I don't know if I want to answer that now. I'm trying to think if eyeball
test. You've watched both of these teams a lot. Something always, go like Wilkie guy, when it comes to hockey, there's something, even though when you get into a series with another team, it's like, okay, we're good. We feel confident, but...
Well, you know what? I'll say this. I think Mikhail Orshulak in net for the Raiders does better in games where he gets a lot of shots on goal. I think there's been some time, like I think against Red Deer, there was a couple times, specifically in Game 4, where he didn't see any action for the longest time, and all of a sudden a couple goals got by him. I think we outshot Red Deer in the second period of Game 4, something like 22-2, and we lost that period 2-1. So, I think there is something to be said for Saskatoon, not just peppering shots on, not just putting everything they can on goal, but picking their spots, picking those good opportunities, getting those chances through. Maybe don't rush things in the offensive zone. I get it. The Raiders defense doesn't give you a lot, but if Saskatoon can be decisive about when they decide to put pucks on net, I think that could be better for them in the long run. There's my best
good,
answer.
Good. Yeah, you skirted that one pretty good. You're getting really good at this, for sure. You talk about the defense and how PA doesn't give you a lot, and that's usually championship teams. That's the case. They don't give you a lot. Who's the couple guys maybe that aren't getting the notoriety, maybe even after the first round on that Raiders team that we haven't heard, we haven't been talking about all year?
Defensively, it's hard to say because everybody knows Justice Christensen is the leader of this team. Everybody knows who Daxton Rudolph is at this point here. He's going to be drafted probably top 10 in the upcoming NHL draft. Bennett Kelly is in that NHL Central scouting list. So, if anybody's maybe a little bit underappreciated, it's him, I think, because he doesn't always get the recognition, stuff like that. Brock Cripps, everybody knows who he is. He's led the Raiders in the first round of playoffs, and he's only 16 years old, a defenseman as well. Mattress Man went and played at the World Juniors with Czechia, so a lot of people know who he is. Lyndon Barrett maybe could be that kind of underdog guy as well. We got him for next to nothing last year. Same day he was traded from Calgary to Seattle, we picked him up for, I think, a 6th round or a 7th round pick we got him for. And now he's been one of our most dynamic defensemen, led us this year in plus minus. And then our 7th defenseman, Hubert Clark, has done good too. Like when he's been in and he's had to step up for sometimes, he was one of the guys, he fought in the last game of the season against Saskatoon as well. And I think the first minute set the tone with Tristan Mitchell-Macalone, another good one. So I don't know. It's hard to say who's the underappreciated one on the Raiders defense because all of them have really had their moment in the limelight at different times this year.
Okay. Who are you thinking? Give us a prediction on who pops off offensively in this series for the Raiders.
Oh, that's a good question. I think if Max Heise's healthy all series, this is his series. He's going to pop off. I think being on the sidelines all series against Red Deer, how frustrated he was when he went down the tunnel after his first shift there in Game 1, took a hit up high and had to be helped off the ice. I think there's nobody in this series more motivated than Max Heise, and I can't wait to see what he does.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
30. What's the number here that Cliffy said will be in the barn officially? 32.99.
32.99. That's nuts.
And it's good. And it's gonna feel like 18.5.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're not going to be able to move in that rink. The Chess Leach Lounge afterwards for the post game show, win or lose.
Let's go.
That's like. I can't
now
wait.
You're making me wish I would have booked a room at the Imperial 400 and come for the night, although they ripped that down.
I wish you could bottle this excitement, though, for this game. You'd be a millionaire. It's just so exciting.
What? Here's a weird one. What's PA coming out to for a song nowadays? What do they come out to?
Live It Up by Airborne.
Really? Oh, yeah.
And that was a pick from the captain, Christensen, too, from what I understand. I think he was the one who kind of signed off on it, maybe. But I know from knowing him, that's his kind of music. So,
okay, prediction: how many games are we going?
If I'm gonna give the Blades the proper respect they deserve, I'm gonna say Raiders in 6.
Finish it off. They finish it off in the Bridge City.
Yeah.
Finish it off. Okay. Well, if it goes 7. I'm going to have to figure out a way to get, maybe it'll be a go check the cabin excuse and pop into PA for that. Always a pleasure, Nick. It's going to be a great one. I can't wait to watch it. tonight, actually. I'm like looking at
nuts.
The NHL over the next few. Got Masters will be done tonight, and it's just like, just sit down, and I'm going to watch the Blades and Raiders. Have a good call. Thanks for doing this, my man. We'll catch up maybe in a week or so.
Sounds good. Much appreciated. Thanks for having me.